Hey guys, welcome to this week's review of Ready for Love. Is it Ready for Love or Ready to Love? Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna go with final answer, Ready to Love or Ready for Love. Let's just say Ready to Love. It may not sound like it, but I've been watching this show for 5 seasons now. This is the 5th season. Can you believe it? It's a good series. Oprah, you did good. This is a really good show, even though it's super annoying at times, but I think I've gotten some valuable lessons as well as entertainment. So keep on going. I can't believe it's 5 seasons already. Now, this show is kind of weird, right? Because we know it's about finding love, but at the same time, it's a competition show, right? So it is in your best interest to make multiple connections, but at the same time, you don't want to have the reputation of being a player because that can backfire. And the two guys that got eliminated tonight, I feel like they played opposite ends of the spectrum and they played the game totally wrong. They really did. I'm not gonna go through every single body because we're still very early into the show and we know that there's like so many people. I don't think I even remember everybody's names. I just binge watched 5 episodes right now, so I'm still learning everybody. So I'm just gonna speak on the more memorable characters of this week's episode. So the two guys that got eliminated, Tyrone and Corey, they played both ends of the spectrum and they effed it up. They really did. And to be honest, I didn't like any of them. I didn't like either one of them. I definitely didn't like Corey from the beginning. And Tyrone, he was a little bit awkward. I don't know. Something was like a little off. But then I'm awkward too. So and I have anxiety and whatever. So I don't want to like judge somebody because maybe they don't act, I don't want to say normal, but there was just something weird with him that my spirit is not really vibing with him. But all the other ladies seem to love him. So clearly I am wrong. But Tyrone effed up the game because 5 episodes in, which probably had to be a week or 2 of filming, he goes and decides that Shiloh is the one for him. And that could be his wife right away. Like that. He knows. And he doesn't give anybody a chance. Same thing with Camille. It's like, sorry, I had to sigh because every season, especially with the women, there's like 1 or 2 where they dig their claws into someone right away. And they kind of shoot themselves in the foot because the person that they're like totally committed to, for whatever reason, it doesn't work out. But then they're later on in the game. I mean, I shouldn't say game, but they're later on in the show and it's like everybody else has kind of made their connections and now it's too late for them to really get to know anybody else, right? And then they screw them. And then usually the person that they like also is talking to other people as well. So that person may have stronger connections with them. So it's just never a good look or a good idea to pick someone so early on. And that's what Tyrone did. And it's like, even if you felt that Shiloh was the one for you, you can say, yeah, you're my number one, even though I hate how they always force people to say who their number one is, who their number 2 is. I think that's kind of corny. Like, this is the 5th season. I think everybody knows how this show works. You're dating multiple people, so you shouldn't be so clingy or possessive because you understand they're talking to multiple people, right? So Tyrone is allowed to like Shiloh as his number 1, but it seemed like he got along really well with Sabrina as well. So Why not take your time and explore that? How can you know within a week if someone is the one? I know that it's a cliche where they say guys know right away, and I'm not gonna dispute that because I'm not a guy. I don't know, right? But why not take advantage of the process? It doesn't hurt to get to know somebody. You came on the show. Why? Like, you know what it is. Why would you cut yourself off just like that? And he still has a chance with Shiloh. I'm not going to say, oh, just because he got eliminated, they're never going to speak to each other again. Like, we don't know how this is going to go. She may talk to multiple people on the show and she may realize, you know what, I had the best connection with Tyrone and they may end up together, right? I get that, but he just screwed himself over. Like, that's just, is that weird to me? Some people may say, oh my gosh, that's so romantic. That could be romantic, but I'm just getting a vibe of like, you want her, so you're kind of trying to, I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't want to say you're desperate, but you're so quick to be like, you're mine. Just like Camille. Like, it's weird because someone will look at Tyrone and say, that's so romantic. And then someone would look at Camille and be like, oh my gosh, she's psycho, she's crazy, she's so possessive over Cornelius. What is Cornelius thinking, right? Now, to be fair, Tyrone didn't act as cuckoo crazy as Camille has been acting, right? But they're in the same sort of territory. So I don't know. I wouldn't say Camille is romantic for her behavior. I would say it just comes off more as possessive. Like, okay, if I say that you're the one, then you're just gonna fall into my arms and cling to me and kind of shut everybody out. And I just don't think that's fair to do to somebody so early on in the process. And that's why Shiloh was, she was really upset because she liked Tyrone, she really did, but she wasn't ready to be like, yeah, okay, since you picked me, I'm gonna pick you. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm glad that Shiloh was like, you know what? I am vibing. To be honest, I didn't really get the vibe that Shiloh was very much into him anyways. You know what I mean? I think she kind of liked that. I think she liked the attention. I think she liked that he liked her. And I don't think she disliked him, but I don't think she was really willing to commit to him either. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't want to feel guilty or uncomfortable. I don't want to be talking to other guys and you're giving me the side eye and you're, giving me weird energy. Like, so it's better if you just go. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I got from Shiloh. But I do think I think the tears come from more feeling guilty. But who knows? I can be completely wrong. But at the end of the day, even though I think he was kind of weird, he was honest. We'll give him that, right? He was honest with it. I don't know how you could lie about that. But still, I think he should have just played the game a little bit more. You should have gave Sabrina a chance if you vibe with her, because you don't know. You can't know somebody within a week. Like, they couldn't have been filming longer than a week, to be honest with you. How do you know someone is the one? Like, yeah, you can have conversations and blah, 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 but it's just getting to know somebody is more than getting to know their history or their favorite color or what they do for a living. And, I don't know. I don't want to say trauma bonding is like so overused, but I don't know if he liked her because it's like, yeah, she was a meditation coach or life coach or whatever, and he has PTSD, and he thought like, okay, she's a life coach, I went to therapy, okay, we're a match. I don't know what it is, but whatever. Let's move on. Corey. I didn't like Corey from the start. Corey should have been the first one eliminated, right? I definitely feel like Corey and Camille are producers' plans, really. Like, I don't want to say they're actors because that may be a little bit of a stretch, But listen. This is the 5th season. We've seen enough iterations of this show. We know the game that they played. Little Black Book, YouTuber, check him out. He often does interviews with the people on the show, right? And he also has this live panel where everybody kind of discuss. They go through all the characters and they discuss everything, and you get different perspectives. Way more interesting than what I'm doing now, right? Definitely go and check him out. You probably know who he is if you're watching this video, but if you don't, check out his YouTube channel, right? And when he interviews the people on the show, you get different perspectives. You get behind the scenes, and you end up finding out that the producers like to play games, right? Because, they have to put on an interesting show. And Corey and Camille, I feel like, are their producers' plans. Plus, I feel like the producers keep them on the show longer than they should. And I feel like Corey for sure was one of them, because Corey should have been eliminated day one. Corey was playing games from the jump, right? And like I said at the beginning, being on this show is this sort of fine balance, right? And Tyrone is on one side and Corey's on one side, because yes, it's to your advantage that you try to make multiple connections, but at the same time, you have to be careful that you don't build this reputation of a player, right? Or someone that kind of overly sees it as a game and is just trying to connect with everybody so that they can stay on the show. And from the jump, that's what Corey was trying to do, because he wasn't actually trying to get to know people and make a connection with those he tried to make a connection with. He was just, the more the merrier, right? Quantity over quality. He was just asking everybody out on a date. Red flag number 1. What's her name? Neiman. I don't know if that's her name, but she's absolutely gorgeous, right? Neiman was his lifeboat, or like, what's that little, is it a lifeboat, a lifesaver? I think it's a lifesaver, right? He was on his way out, but he managed to make a connection with her because she got some flat tires. So like literally he was a lifesaver for her, right? And they're really cute together. I like Neiman. She's gorgeous. I love her energy. And I don't like Corey, but I'm like, okay, if Neiman, she likes her, if she likes him, they look good together. Even though I was cringing on their first date, I was just, oh my gosh. Let me take a break. Let me drink some water. Because Corey, oh my god. When, what's her name? I'm still learning everybody's name. Zatia. Oh my gosh. She's also gorgeous. I feel bad. I don't know what her name was, okay? But she was like, every time that Corey talks, I squinch up my face, right? And that's exactly, that was exactly me watching Corey and his scenes. I was just making a face, yelling at the screen. I'm like, Neiman, don't believe him. Please run. Corey, he's an idiot. What are you doing? Listen, like I said, people are allowed to have their number ones. People are allowed to date multiple people. People are allowed to have people that they vibe with more than others. Fine. Corey isn't a bad guy for that. But the way he played the game was just so stupid. How can you be so dumb? Like, he goes and he leaves notes. Okay, they're having a pool party. Everybody is there. He decides this is a great time to do some sort of grand gesture and leave notes all over the place for Courtney to find, right? And then, of course, Courtney is going to say, oh my gosh, look at this note I got. It says this, it says that. Like, Courtney is going around the party to find out who's leaving me these notes and yada, yada, yada. But then, when Neiman confronts Corey the next day, like, hey, did you leave all these notes for Corey? which Corey admitted to Courtney that he did, right? He goes and he tries to deny it, or he doesn't answer the question directly, like, well, who told you that? Well, where did you get that from? It's like, are you dumb? Like, you know how this show works. You know that the ladies talk. You know that they're gonna meet with uncle, nephew, uncle, and they're gonna talk about this crap. Like, you know she's going to find out, so why lie? Like, I understand you telling the truth is gonna look bad, but maybe you could have been charming and be like, well, I do like her. She is my number one, but I do like you. I mean, would that go over well? Not necessarily, but there's still a chance that maybe you can recover from that. But even if you can't recover from that, at least you would have Courtney that still likes you, and that may keep you around for a little while. And who knows, you may have been able to build that connection with her because Courtney was really feeling you for some strange reason, right? At least if you were honest. But no. And first of all, before I say second of all, first of all, why would you put yourself in that situation anyways by leaving notes? Like, if you want to do a romantic gesture for Courtney, which you already done with the flowers, right? You could have done that privately. You could have done that on a one-on-one date. But even then, it would still get back to the group because they talk about stuff like this. And this isn't the first season, this is the 5th season, so you know. So Corey, what tells me is that Corey either wants camera time or he's not that smart. He's not that smart and he's a liar. He really is. He's the type of guy that will just say whatever he can say in the moment to smooth things over and da-da-da-da-da. I think with Neiman, he liked her, maybe, who knows, but I think with Courtney, there was more competition for Courtney. That's why he felt like he had to do a little too much and go over the top so that he can compete with the other men. And I think Neiman, she's absolutely gorgeous. He's crazy. He was underestimating her. And I think his kind of mindset is, I'm going to be public and I'm going to go over the top with Courtney because it seems like she has a lot of guys going after her, right? And then I'm going to keep Neiman on the side, right? So I can stay, so I can be safe in the game, you know what I mean? So I know that I'm not going to be eliminated and I have the numbers for me. Like, it was just very clear he wasn't there for the right intentions. He was just there to be on the show for camera time. I don't know what. He should have been eliminated on day one, and if he wasn't eliminated on day one, he should have been eliminated on the very next episode, right? I think the producers definitely kept him there longer than he should have been, right? But I guess I was entertained by him and his nonsense, and I'm glad that he didn't last that long, to be honest with you. And it was just really annoying because we've seen, like I said, this is the 5th season about 500 times already, right? We've seen this play out enough times. We've seen the players, right? The people that didn't have good intentions. We've seen them make it to the end, to be honest. We've seen them make it to the end. And we've seen the other person be heartbroken because they got played, right? And I don't think any of the couples have made it. I think Mario and what was her name? I forgot. But even with Mario, like the person he ended up with, he was like, yeah, I don't want to be with you. And he ended up with someone else that he eliminated. They may still be together, but even how they got together was scandalous, right? I don't think any of the couples have made it. And you know what? That's fair, right? Because 99% of relationships don't work, right? Only 1% of relationships work forever. So, what am I trying to say? Like, we've seen the player make it to the end, and we've seen the other party be heartbroken. And as a viewer, it's frustrating to watch because we do want that happy ending, right? And when I saw Corey and the way he was moving, I was like, oh Lord, I hope this is not another one of those stories where Corey makes it to the end, right? And then he's not serious. And then maybe say Courtney picks somebody else, and then Corey picks Neiman, right? But he's not really serious about her. He's just picking her so that he can end up at the finale and get some sort of attention. And then Neiman ends up heartbroken. I'm calling her Neiman like that's her name. I hope that's her name. Right? But you know what I'm just trying to say. It's like, oh, so I'm glad he was eliminated. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. I'm glad that they caught him real quick. He's not that smart. So, one more person that I would like to talk about, Camille and Cornelius. Cornelius has a lot of patience, right? I don't know what's wrong with Camille, right? And I know I said it 500 times. I'm going to say it 501 times. This is not the first season. This is the 5th season. And if you're going to go on the show like this, I'm going to assume that you have watched a season at least. Like if I was going to go on the show, of course I'm going to watch some episodes. I'm going to want to know what the show is about. Every season, especially with the women, and it's so frustrating, right? They pick one person at the very beginning and they latch on to that person and they give nobody else a chance. And I'm going to say 95% of the time, it doesn't work in their favor. 95% of the time, the person that is the stage 5 clinger does not get a happy ending, right? But for some reason, Cornelius seems to have a lot of patience, right? If it was anybody else, they would be like, excuse me, no, you're crazy, goodbye. When she called him a dumbass, done. I would have been like, okay, bye, I don't like you. Next, you can just get eliminated right now. You can walk yourself out the door. Like, a part of me felt like, I'm not gonna lie, a part of me felt like Cornelius was having the patience with Camille because this week, the ladies were eliminating the guys, right? And I felt like maybe, I'm not gonna say this is what it is, but Cornelius was trying to play nice with her because he didn't want to get eliminated, right? And maybe he wasn't too sure on where he stood with the other ladies. So he was like, okay, I'd rather be cool with Camille this week, but next week I'm gone. So next week we're going to see how things play out with Cornelius. We're going to see if he switches up and is going to be like, yeah, no, thank you. Right? Like, even without her calling him a dumbass, no, she's too jealous. It's ridiculous. Maybe at first he thought it was cute to have her claim him and all that jazz, but right from the beginning I saw what it was and I'm like, this is not cute. This is not cute on day one. This is not cute. Just like with Tyrone, I'm sorry, some people may think that's romantic because he knows what he wants. That's not romantic to me, right? Just because of the nature of the show. Maybe in real life, even in real life, like, I know, and I'm guilty of this myself, that you may go on one date with someone and then before you know it, you're boyfriend and girlfriend, right? And as I've gotten older, I've learned that it's important to take that time to actually get to know somebody, to make sure you're compatible before you commit to someone. Like, what is the rush? What is the rush? Right? And I know people say when you know, you know. I guess maybe the older you get, you know what you want, so it's quicker to spot. But I don't know. Like, you're not going to get married tomorrow, so take your time. Take your time to get to know somebody, right? So when someone is just too quick to cling on to you and be like, you're mine, it is kind of a red flag. I'm sorry, it is, right? And then you verbally abusing him because you're jealous is definitely a red flag. And Cornelius is there smiling in her face, almost thinking, oh, it's cute. Oh, it's so cute. She's so cute. She likes me so much. It's like, that's not cute. That's scary. Sorry. But from the previews, I don't know if she's gonna get eliminated, but it seems like she's definitely in the bottom two to get eliminated, and she definitely needs to get eliminated because she's not ready for love, right? But a little bit of her backstory, it does seem like she is very Christian. She wants to wait till marriage, right? And I can, I'm not very Christian, and I'm not waiting till marriage, so I can't relate to that. But I can understand and I can empathize that it is probably incredibly difficult to find someone that's also the same religion as you, and two, is at least willing to wait till marriage. Like, there's probably not a lot of men out there, especially at a certain, in their 40s, late 30s, that have the same sort of mindset, right? So when you do find a guy, he's cute, he's into you, he's like a unicorn. So of course you don't want to just let him go. You want to latch onto him. So I think that's what makes her a little bit desperate, because she knows how rare someone like Cornelius is. So it doesn't matter like his personality or whether she really likes him. She's just thinking, okay, check. He's mine. But she's just, I don't know. Part of me feels like she's an actress. I don't know. I'm not taking her genuine. I don't know. Moving on. One more person I want to mention, Aisha. I like Aisha. I do. I like all the ladies this season except Camille. And I like all the guys, kind of. Well, from what I know so far. Except Tyrone and Corey, and they're gone. See ya. Aisha and Sean. I was so sad because, it was like check, and I'm rooting for Aisha, and it was like check, and then it was the children thing that came up, and he wasn't too sure if he wanted children, but he was like open to the option, and Aisha was like, nope, I had my kids young, and I'm done. I've been married for so long. I've done that traditional thing, what society tells women they have to do, Now I want to live my own life and do what I want. Not do what I want, but you get what I'm saying, right? But at the end of the day, that's why it's important to have these conversations, because it sucks. It does, but it's better to know earlier on than they start dating, they get attached, and then later on it becomes a point of contention and they're back and forth, and it's like, well, I want kids, and even, it's sad. It's sad. And I wonder if Aisha had the same conversation with Frank, and if Frank wants kids. Because it seems like a lot of the guys do want kids still. Even though they're like in their late 40s and their 50s. Like Walter, he still wants kids, which is fine, right? But he's like approaching his 50s. So it's like, yeah, okay. If that's what you want to do, it's up to you. I'm done. It's over. Okay, that was my review. I know it was all over the place. It is what it is. Hopefully I get to know everybody's names, and my next review will be a little bit better. Anywho, guys, that's everything. See